Dharampur, where roosters crowed before the sun rose and the scent of wet earth filled the morning air, lived a milkman named Raghu Kaka. He was in his mid-50s, with silver threads in his hair and a curved spine from years of lifting heavy milk cans. Every morning at 4:30 a.m. sharp, he would ring his cycle bell as he delivered fresh milk to every home, rain or shine. But Raghu was more than just a milkman. He was known far and wide for his politeness. Whether it was a child dropping a pot, an elder scolding him for being a minute late, or a dog barking furiously at him, Raghu Kaka never lost his calm. "No problem, beta," he would say. "Sab thiko jayega." "Everything will be fine," was his favorite line. He spoke softly, always greeted people with folded hands, and never entered a house without asking, "Ajaun bahu." Even the village children mimicked his soft tone when playing pretend games. Raghu lived alone in a small, tin-roofed house at the edge of the village. His wife had passed away years ago, and his only son had left for the city, chasing dreams he never wrote back about. Yet, Raghu never complained. He still smiled at everyone, still gave an extra spoon of milk to the poor, and still said, "Dhanyawad," thank you, after every transaction, even if he was the one doing the favor. People often wondered, why is he so polite to a world that barely notices him? One winter morning, as mist clung to the trees and the streets lay frozen, Raghu delivered milk as usual. At the last house, the mansion of the wealthy businessman, Mr. Dhanraj, something unexpected happened. The servant yelled at Raghu, saying the milk was too watery, and slammed the steel container back at him. The milk spilled onto the steps. Everyone expected Raghu to finally shout back, maybe argue, or even leave the house permanently. But instead, Raghu folded his hands and softly said, "I'm sorry. I will check it again. Please don't worry, Sahib." He cleaned the steps, refilled the can from the milk in his backup pot, and left with the same calm face. A small boy across the street, Chintu, had watched the whole scene. He ran to Raghu and asked, "Kaka, why didn't you say anything? He was so rude." Raghu smiled and patted the boy's head. "Beta, respect is my nature. His anger is his burden. Mine is peace." That line stayed with Chintu forever. 2 weeks later, Raghu didn't arrive with his milk. The bell on his bicycle didn't ring. People waited, confused. Some joked, maybe he finally got tired of being nice. But when someone went to check, they found Raghu lying unconscious inside his hut, feverish, frail, and alone. The news spread like wildfire. The entire village gathered. The doctor came running. Medicines were arranged, and a young lady named Priya, whom Raghu had once helped by forgiving months of unpaid milk bills, stayed to care for him. For the first time, the village realized how deeply he had touched their lives. Not with big gifts, not with loud speeches, but with quiet kindness. Within a day, people came forward to help. One family paid his hospital bills. Another brought hot food every evening. Children made cards that said, "Jaldi thiko jaye, Raghu Kaka." Get well soon, Raghu uncle. Even Mr. Dhanraj, the businessman, walked into the hospital, looked at the old man lying weak but peaceful, and said, "I'm sorry. You taught me more with your silence than I ever learned from lectures." When Raghu opened his eyes 2 days later, he was shocked to see so many faces around him, smiling, praying, caring. "I didn't know I mattered so much," he whispered. Priya replied, tears in her eyes. "You did, Kaka. You taught us all that being polite is a strength, not a weakness." After his recovery, the village organized a small celebration. A signboard was put at the main chowk, "Raghu Kaka Chowk, in honor of a gentle heart." Below it, painted in bold white letters, "Kindness is quiet, but it speaks the loudest." From that day on, even the roughest boys of Dharampur would think twice before shouting. The villagers reminded each other, "Be like Raghu Kaka." And Raghu? He continued his milk rounds, just as always, still with folded hands, still with a smile, still saying "Dhanyawad" after every glass. Moral of the story: politeness is not about words. It's about respect, humility, and inner strength. Even when the world is loud and unfair, a gentle heart can move mountains